Me nyina bebia on record enka da se mama China ana abusua no a abusua panyin Tupac ya kan tamagu omu so no omu ya adonkofo na mom se bia onte ya de maka ne se
abusua hi Ghana TV so open the trending news ene nsema trend on social media so dia ya ase be kakofa dia be so mo channel you so na ene particular video be trend on social media so be kasa be make sure so be kam ho nya kotie ane akohwe de trend ni bi e dia ba ne ba dia aka no ye ba beto amoso.
Okay, for me nyina amoadwo me ni aba right also me da se ni akwanya amode ama me nra said o kasa otete no a me wo ho na me so menya ne ntie se eye pa akosofo no eye lumba abusuafo ni bi akohia wo omu fie se omu tu abusua panyini na tu omu tu no na media be pie ho se mama China na esodi mu ntintimanti on address media no na o kasa no se ojina mpanimfo na nim se me Oheneba se sebe ekwan omu fa so a omu tu abusua panyini no omu se abusua panyini so okaso otumfo nko a ne betimi atu na konwa so a enya nokre na se de abusua panyini kaaye no ye non metanachi na ye ne kwan so ano no bie unso se ya kantankasi agu omu so na ohene ni ntimi mfa mo so na sa aka se sebi abusua ohene no ne nasifo no omu ya adonkofo ti mete ye no me hu dwiri me na se me nya show se bia eye me a se wakaya ma nanse ho no ebia se enura dwumadi na odi ye ne ye nsantrofo ni bi ko ho ti obi tia omu na so na se omu so omu hwehwe ohene ba biafo no na je se abusuafo no kra nyombe attack ye ti mete ye no na eye me wa akra ti me yese mo afre me a wo frem busa me ho asem se na mo be frem me na be ya no kakra na dia me pesa me kan yi ma cho mo te menka
ton kapa
me nyina bebia on record enka da se mama China ana abusua no a abusua panyin Tupac ya kan tamagu omu so no omu ya adonkofo na mom se bia onte ya de maka ne se abusua panyin Tupac entamo a waka no entamo a ejina enti se yen kan tankase na semwie ya omu ntimi nkase omu atu no isan se o kan tankase no ebo ho ban kopim se entankese no ho asem be firi ho no obi antimi nto no ena won kan tam keke wakan tam a ode epri bibi na de ode pre no ene se paaku sukuro no na bontene nyina no o se eye ne dia enti until se ode beboso ana se omfa moso na entam no ebekọ de entam ne wore ho yes antene na wedi asem no obi antimi ntwi mfa ntankese no so enye adefufuro bia enti na bia enam so abusua panyin ka se eji se otumfo pe ene betimi atu na de so no enti okasa ne ya adwene ena mesaka biem se abusua panyin aka na bontere enye kokuam se waka ntankese ampa ukọ sebe dade so aba fekuo mu a asam ne dafie ho nananom e ho nyina nim se waka ntamagu sebe omu nua pa akoso hene so ya chiame kwakus ena oye santen ne chiame a oda sa afekuo nim onso adi mu adanse se ntamo asem da ho enti sebe di okan no nso ne se osiro otumfo ntankese kan tankese se mo ne nye ade baako mo nya ade ase enti mo ne moja na obi ka so ne wo moja mo nya ade ase a na kire se mo nya ade hyekan ana ade hitrudu na mum mubetimi aye abusua ana se mubetimi aye onse abusua no ye mubetimi abo abusua nanso na mo nya ade ase because okwa bi wo ho a abusua bi wo ho a yetimi ne obi bo abusua but yese sabe eduru adesesem a yetimi ka ma wo hunu ba bia wo free ba enti bia abusua panyin ne woni nyina so de ka asasem no enti wo se ade ase ene one monye ena afei one mu mboboja baako onka se sabe obi a ekon na abusua no yetwa mudi afiri na mo nka ho asamu ameka ye ni I never mention say sabi eburu ebia mama China mo ene onua na na paako so henenom no omu ya adonkofo enti saa asem no a o kana ebia obi na ekeka ana se bia obi ana wakotwa atoro atomeso ene bia odigina sabi nananom anim ne dom anim eka saa asem ne tomeso na mpanimfo se ba bia kyekira aboa no ehwa ni gya no kan media ne so ze media fo no so te no mu busame a me wo ho kwa se me yi mano media no so because ne ye ka asem to no anyiwa no a na be ya asem na ho bia nso de bia mama China no onimu nie na pa akoso hene one me ye fine pa bia onim bi mama China no onye me yonko menini ni ayonko fa bia na pa akoso hene lumba asemi bayi mene no ye share 2 times atnase adi nkomo mama China de bia onye awe na wo me number me wone number enye lumba aseme na ebe bakra na mene no wonkita hodie ti se me ni die soronko a me wo manana no me wo de ma no na nya me na me be kan tankase mu asem na ma kire na busu asem because minim o ma busu asem ntimi nyina ba bia da enka se na pa akoso hene sabi eburu oni onuanom eya adonkofo menka sa enti mesra no mo onye ma no nsi bone na asamu amaka no onka na sa pepepe na ene no onse ya na omu instigate amanfo tia ebinom because bia na nadwene ye ne se sabi de opese wote na nya na America ena asantesem no ya hyehyɛ na nanom hyehyɛ da wada enya me na me besesa no emebunu no aye ba na yegu media no so no saa issues ye ekoso no eye test case ema the Asante custom and tradition say an kan ye na ankyere ye wo media no so ye nya akwanya ne ankyere kyeremu ya wanhwe ya wo bekwa ahimfie ye bedi ye bedi atia no anasa bi eburu bi a ye betwe adwene nsa de oye no anye ne ye no na wadwene yo se bia katasese de bie akoso anasa bia obi akwaje damudie nti no wadane wasem a de koye enti ye ka ma wote wo ho ase ansa na wadwene ye ofan a okwa na wo hunu se probability sa asem ne kan sa ne besie no eye high sabe ye nyina yesua menka mi nim bibia che obi amamre ne amane ye nsua nwie enti na wo duru manhia ehemfo a wo muti sabe ye wura nchen no da bia wo mu ana sanya amane ko obi beka se eya dan na obi ote manhia da bia ye di asem ote asem de da bia so mu na nya amane twanwan kire se amane ne amamre no ye nsua nwie enti mekire bibim na onti ase a ubetimi abusame ana o de pese wo di amamele ye bibia na se o pese wo ye ni yi a busamu ne enkyerɛw you may have a case but procedure was what they are there no se one follow a obi a onim did bia be catch was ade no e wo se wo case enso anye ne ye no na ye kyerɛkyerɛ mu a sabio enipa bia koda ne asɛm no a ama ode asɛm wo ya atome so a enam so a oso de frɛ me a me di ma no ewe mo fidi iso masem nyina no
Oheneba we dey em say the o cheche mu dey obia tia nti na say all refer to abusua panyin sem o kan say wakantam no na wo de kan wasem sanete
sana me de kan masem ena me kire say sanete de omunye muja baako na say omunya ade asede a na chi say sabio omunya ade hyekan say santi na abusua panyin de gina so won so de kan ntam nti na me manka so omuya adonkofo won say obi omadwene yom say sɛ woka sɛ obi ne wonya ade ase ana ɔne wonye muja na kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ donko ɛnyɛ saa na asɛm no teɛ and I never said that mpo ɛwɔ masɛm mu
ma we dey patcho a wo say wo dey na dey wo fi platform is wa hype na na hema represent Greater Accra and Oheneba so represent Ashanti region but yema monarch am say monarch person okoya ade nti nka yema monarch be 5 minutes bi why na nko making a submission na nko ya de na me patcho why
okay
right what mute you
Okasana as a ghost voice but
right what they you be managing this out there who dey kasa
okay, right, me that's power for the opportunity. Yeah, PM yashe Emma line intino. Emma line yeah force it me yashe. Oheneba media me show nyame show. I came to listen to Yena Nahimana explanation and normal. And I love the way usi kasane the way usi nyabo training. But you see, this whole thing union no mulo mofona kwa yena. O share the way and manner everything has been carried out now. It gives Ubia or assertive person be able to suspect to say there's a foul play somewhere. And I'm telling you what, Councillor Lutrot Ekotna platform biso. Eke can sim be say yati se lumba body ni yesi ufi hwa yesi no ho nti guy youth bi mfa pickers ni ade. Ene no kodae. Fast forward, the same platform eno panyi bia wo se ona yebubu ahyi ene kaneshi jase hene so kotena ho eno no so ka se siesie that the lumba body no hwa ye di fin aka asase no. And he was posed or quizzed with a specific question say inti nananom kan for ede na mobaya afa saade no. Then what the man would say ne say, I am quoting him verbatim. Die yebeye ne say yebe force ye nuanuma santefo ne say omuntu abusu apanyina de so. And I was like, how does somebody desecrating your land and you cleansing your land got to do with yetu abusu apanyina? What is the correlation? Se obi di fia kan wasase a, what has yetu abusu apanyina de so no got to do with yentu na de so? Can't you cleanse your land? Enti eno no emane suspicious say Councillor Luton Beka same with the same platform. The next day, Papa Enzo Beka the same thing. Then a day after, any who will for so if you some the letter call. Let's ask ourselves these questions. Letter now mother and one letter now was confused. Because moka 13th and almost Thursday, 13th date, and yet Thursday. And I'm moving no Abusa Penny now most of the cost 7 or any one or take. That is not Abusa Penny's residence. That is error number 2. Say, media press conference now. If anybody had threatened, say Abusa Penny menti wabu manim tentombe kofi ho, akotu body na, it is laughable to say the least. Because much as ye or Maya sebin producer ye wo na nanom tumi no, we are all under a law. Ye nyina ye Ghana mrase. You cannot just go to somebody's privacy and say you see body when you baba exhume. It's okay. Your mom access them kofi ho. How would you know somebody near the to her na the to her? Okoni enye tombstone be a chest the body at how would you know? How would you know? Because I do not think say I am saying this with malice. I do not think say if you see that the lumba secretly e woni fie na sanananma bosomfo ehu a because I was thinking an animal person for me detecting who said yes ye obi if you see obi na defeat cancer as na ye taboo I was thinking an animal person for me detecting who said yes ye obi wa ha unlawfully na nkom yi kire wulo mo akomfo no nananom antimi ehu dia e de na kyese mu kofie honom na se bibia nkyese esi nipa mu betimi agu nsama ensa na allocate the compass amamo say aha no na body net. How would you know that? And so obi pejina okase yesi that the lumba ofia, it is not a guarantee say e no cry. How would you even know say they are playing with your mind, a mind's game? How would you know? Ukolumba fie na yesi okay e de fie na mama monko seche na dan bia mo bewram bia well tiled bibia no kyese yesi body. How would you know? How? Enti mesre yenu anom kranfo ni binum no ho. When it comes to assassin sema, I have experienced this. Yasa asia ne yeso adwuma ye project bi. Yes, me na minti bi da say bibi the digging fee. We had paid to a group bi. They are Yekotu Foundation na another group about the digging fee. Omo buy so many ebeka no. Oh, ye pamcho ye free hanom we are here to verify say mo twa mo digging fee and as a receipt. Gidi me ne omo kasa me gina ho me na me ye project owner no ba ma shada aya me ho se me mesi na me so amota ne bi. Na boy ba ko pagya ne t-shirt me nhwe se tuo na ha se me gimi am se masa won't me vetu me hunu bia wa ha ukumia it wouldn't stop this project. Asama oba the buy na can't we dialogue? Must it always be gidi ne patapa ne takashi no? Enti me de me hunu say yes omo do masase, nobody is denying that. Baya omo miemfa dialogue nkas me busu apanyin to me e bi kwa letter ne nsanka letter nti se ukoye press conference now jump gun say wa manti a disrespecting me to be kofi akotu body na to me uko hona se body no wanku hu a na wasa ama waba be a radical of yourself in the public eye. And I think that they should do due diligence Ghana ye womra, because it is even rumored. I'm not saying this as a fact. It is rumored say Ora Peter Alajeti yesi ni wonifie. Inti can anybody confirm say Accra Kronida Kakaka no yeni nipa ba kokra yesi ni wonifie? Can we make this as a statement of fact that yeni nipa ba akubia yesi ni wonifie wa Accra ho? That the lumba de na ba be news.
No. Even if you say the nana even if you say
Thank you. Yes. Amamrani amani amobeye.
Dia na amfa ne kwan paso. What I say? And regardless of the people that have been buried, no one say nkofo be brave no, but oh yes, and so more you've gone work scot free.
Yeah.
That number we say in 3 months. Now 3 months no penye asem na aba ho e na nei no obi aka na omo ho say yesie no woni fie ho no e na ko bi emu
Very good. Very good.
Rahel, you need to check your microphone.
Your microphone is my problem.
Your voice is
Enti bi dem manu sikra Rahel. Enti se muko fie ho na muko tutu wo se de ma me biti ne platform so ka so muko tutu no anya body na mo be fix e kana mabo no. Nyema na ma say no. Are you going to take money from the coffers of wulumo no ho na mo de fix fie na? Can't you be sued? Me feel say your authorities are responsible. Tina na hima explanation manager hono say mo be cry wa amamrani amani ayeye. And I want to believe say people should also at least put some respect on the intelligence of a busapanyin say onya de as on timi mfiti prekope mfiri kumase say mabetutu lumba fie the board na ba show without following due diligence. Sabi your land authorities ne landlords are also follow or lawyers are mbetu ne fonti. Let's respect abusuapanyin ne kakra se sebie son onye lawless onye obi a onim de se obetimi afiti free ni pem no abeya ade a ebetia na nanom kranfo na bebu omanim tia menye sure se sabesi Rahel me da but enyom was duly launched today mas send am our WhatsApp inti you can enjoy madam asebusuafo.
Thank you, bro. Well done. Nanaima.
Caroline.
Nanaima. Yeah, na minim se Nanaima wo hono ma.
Me pacho me wa ha.
Right, mpacho mute won kakra bi. Why? Nana man pacho say utie minue monarch.
Monarch metie.
Unse two quick questions. Unse ose nipa kona mo address letter no to no. He doesn't live at the residence. Model letter no koe no. Eno no obe kan wasem se me pacho wa. Ene de enema o kan kakra na me pacho wa.
Letter na sem nendra ye discuss and I can say it's been circulating all over social media. Sisia whether we like it or not, no, social media no abeka ye ho. And also akoye to say medium information a travel into letter may not have arrived into his hands necessarily, and now say yeah, they are called the right place. But the bottom line is that there is a summon which say watia and I so because so watiti on from obi beka say AI, obi beka say a team way for normal yes say we say. But once you see say it is from the office of the high priest, you know, whether a drew on some or not, so you didn't say yate say a cause to say. And until my main sister said the least that could have been done was pick the contact on the phone, na be a wafre. Now much so be a date na you invite someone no crano, it be an ampacho, on think and cromha, or other duties be to perform. It's be a pamachon for mommy they say. The bottom line is I'm looking at it from a Sundre point of view. And yet where Obi Beche say, oh, we right, we know to me, we know to me. Whatever it is, you know, with everything surrounding Ebusiafo and the cases going on, you just want things to be done peacefully and then quickly, because day after day, no, na case, no, new things ebiane say a press conference which means it says so far nobody from Ebusiapeni camp contacted Akonfo and I say you're paying for no mutuns from, and the more days then it looks like disrespecting or more authority as the custodians of the land. Into whether a ruling some or not, just like other things happen now, you discuss with social media or more say any idea or how make it or transfer or Becca say we a yamama some yeka and your social media some, which I've followed him for some time. I'm who say near my view, however, say where they say social media phone talker. Until then, yes, social media is there, adding information and nante. I think the best thing is say somebody from that side should acknowledge it, talk to the elders, if possible, schedule a date to say, be a date to say, yeah, beba. Then you can work your way out around the thing quietly underground before a camera is yatushini media for a bemu in na beba now crown why they obey underground away.
Then again, Nana me pacho, based on their work, when it comes to Ahintasemtv and this social media bloggers interference in things I should have been sacred, and I say niema was set na himfie na say na kwakwa say bibia obia be cameras dasono. Is there not something that we could do about it? Because said the ade koye say enya bloggers and are they allowed there? Be anak Ebusiapeni, like they rightfully said, no, had not probably gotten this kind of invitation. And nuntina be unresponding, but be not at the appropriate time no and cover responding. But now because we allow bloggers and then we allow the media to come so much into our space, ama adiano I am prepared. Any was said call out crampa now call out as at the time any was said call. Don't you think say these bloggers need allowing the media into the space of chieftains, saying yama?
And I'll repeat the same thing. As much as may not agree, say sanity say economy. That is what is happening now. See, and I make statements be say this time we will say obi any accident instead say nipa be jafun na to ho wako buana twene efri mu no, or the camera how the accident will end. Which means say the visuals na be out there no important to comfort than the problem na at hand na ye solution no. Inti na make say ebusia for na ebusia penitimi ba mu quickly before mo fresh our cameras when na camera biamdo. And even CC as a person still there's a way you can go about it without all these cameras. But where it has gotten to now, they have already been drawn into the matter, which is the impeding for no a memory and I say a customary impeding for no. And now also only impeding for into no a drew baby they allow the youngsters to say, oh, wait, the emergency and no more we na ba obia into they may not really see anything wrong with it. But and I make us say, "Oh, now ukuta asem na trendy a wonim say bi a obi pa asem we yegina so de akoatia wo no asem ne ye say ni ti ye na wafase quick na wakono akwakoso asem na no see the buyer that blogging
Nana, what you say even Abusia Penny Crabia as we speak maybe na oni akra na bibi so e
say omo ya we say on ti akra inti no the sisi ano say normal your press
inti Nana say nipa no enti akra na wa send no an invitation a day before ene. Okay, as to whether Adianokra even got to him, you don't have an idea. Na na no wama the media aba tinasise o train no. Meanwhile, no, you are not even sure whether the person actually got it. I don't know. And so kakra. Because so you Kumasi now you need a person to be someone in Accra. At least there could probably be a time difference kakra a bit me money pano etimianya the time to even come because you all know say the ye can no it's ligonya hon Abusia Penny and the letter was addressed to Abusia Penny. Enti don't you think say anke was say at least a mreka krebi bem na say ebia one man even up to next Thursday because according to the date the date it was dated Thursday, but date nankasa ye Friday. And see, don't you think say anka omo train ye any be ene or china wama it be probably up to Monday. You can decide to give a press release and I say ubeti me a friend in Central for now what can be. But say Obiwo Kumasi na the letter was taken to East Legon, not knowing whether he has gotten it or not. Not the following day na win. Don't you think that it was rushed?
I know I can agree with you on that side, but it has already happened. In media, I pray say going forward, no, after and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the best one. The best one.
Thank you so much, Nahima.
Me musa the last question. Say
me pache. Me pacho. Seroli no bisa na Nahima last question. Then we can go to Oheneba.
Oheneba, yes. Yeah. That's right. Nahima, you speak so well with a sober tone. Into no, I am a mean to me impressive baby. And come questions baby because it may seem as though more traditional way, they've taken sides already. What they say, and I me catch us me tea on press conference, I mean, say, oh man, should I need due diligence? I mean, that is how I see it. What I say because I say Rahel, obedient to me, sorry, me can't say Rahel, I bury dead body or ne private residence. Now, most sorry say we are going there. We are going there to check. What you didn't say? Into the Ubia Baba catching will be a nice amount of numbers. Sorry, a corner. Omuka be a press conference. That's right. My dream one mentia because right answer internet make this and Nahima say Nanaima is it that you ain't mean bury dead body your private residence Greater Accra and Nahima so there be we can do it once you have the burial permits. I say we go through traditional right and I say be a rituals kakrabi.
No, you cannot do it. The laws of Accra frowns on it. But in exceptional cases, then you need the permits from the traditional council and the municipal assemblies to do it. And to say other places there, Volta Regional Wonam Obifi Nabia who say, oh, you see we or you see or Ahano and Crayaman Empanesa. cause someone per se efunu ne ufo ne otiasefo ebetena baby baako. But
Okay.
in rare cases where that is the last option and I say baby no, then it has to go through the right authorities and sanayaye.
Okay, Nanaima, because mo priest no baako make some assumptions. I mean, say be a na on one person can be big because right or say o check baby a private residence in one people live there. Into check it say 100 meters or say 200 meters away from where the body was buried. Now her baby any party. So I was like, right, when they cemetery, even cemetery crown, obetima could be obi fear just behind the building. Ubun's a cemetery or honum. What you then I say? Into a honum and kabeka so okay. Once the body is buried, SNA go to that traditional way say no. By men kase, you go ahead with the exhumation. To me, I want to before some go too far. What you say? As I come say okay, once it's buried, ABS a traditional way be account. But okay, so
Na me ka say, utie press conference na dia mete ya ye penin ba ko ne kan say, oma to omonsa afra busua penin wamba, oma besi nkonwa atwen no wamba. Inti Gadangbe, which is Accra ha kosi Adan, efie na ebusua kuoku ni na ebeye nhyiam na omo decide dia omo de beye. Inti exhumation asema omo kan de I don't know if because me the meeting and Papa Nankasa mention, but your kind say okay, nti say
okay, also mbekwa kotufu no. Okay,
but so say one kasa omukotu no and then ye china.
But say na I'm also kotu etunaba
Kotu no on condition be
like
ebe happen before ebe drew etu. What I say on my presidency be say ya inviting no wamba into a beer efie ekwa kosi nkonwa, but before then they be ya tie abusua penin ka and I say wa show mo that time say that say me so many be fifo and me ni penin for ye beba na ya be hu obroni wa assembly because there are two ways to kill a cat. Assembly eba enya ekwan ba ko fe ne penny timi fa solve it. There are other ways you can go and come and solve the matter. Into media and at the end of the disclaimer be say I'm not speaking as an appointed spokesperson on this matter. I am just adding my voice because material, and then I just felt like anyway so one added say if BBC so let me represent my people now in my education kakra in Timpacho my enya cautious of that disclaimer we be appointing me say
so ruling Nana Hema is not representing hold on representing opportunity to get the education from Matias Nana Hema hold on said say ruling can't say way no ruling can't say but I'm a be home so we call the traditional standpoint if there's a matter like this the first thing is that somebody files a complaint adie we bibisa da mo ba court o Accra da na no mo call gamanche o se mo call hene bi fie o ye hu so mo wura hene ni fie ho da no mo ko hia emrantie hene on that day emrantie hene no gave his support to abusuafo ne gitim legal wives no ono ankasa betra omo TikTok so ene omo bose sese asantefo ama nyo yi a that time no wasn't the day for the year no but okoka omo say oh ene gamanche agya tomu say omo nya yie no wa out of nowhere that guy has been consistent on life and also going to other lives connected to Team Legal Wives. The idea where you want ye can want to say.
Me Pacho, can I back it with a video?
I saw him say Manusi and our back it with. Yanko to funo no. The first time I heard that came from Team Legal Wife one or two. Yanko hene e won crying. Niemfa busuapanyin ko hono. I heard that on Team Legal Wives. In complaints no. After complaint there's a sermon. Anahema se court sermon obi a ye court ho nipa na de krata no ko. This same person only did agenda on that day no the same person was the leading person holding the letter. I recorded Lumba Fee. The same person, Nanetra Kamua, or ye video, Ekase, they have come and exactly they are coming to show where power lies. Oh, that Lumba Fee. Nana, after that, this same person, Akwakoye video, Otia him Fiho, Ekase, Team Liga, we move.
So he was chanting their slogan, we move, we move.
We move. That was the same person on Ahima. Now, maybe come as a the system let's say you file a complaint. That person is somebody or a family member or and I said there's a problem about that Lumber's barrier. A devoid of Ubia Ofi Honum and as Ubi peculiar interest be about say only a group will be a property and agenda. Nasa asemno mpanyfona fa say any say tia culture and tradition they are let's summon the person to know the reason behind the omoye. Nana a honor, the invitation is honored, and the chiefs and the traditions, they sit down to listen to the side of the person. The fourth part, and they say, once the complaint is presented, then employees sit down to look at the complaint and the response to the complaint. Fair hearing is given. Lastly, Omuyana Omashia as elders to look at what the response was and see say was there any violation. And sana yako 1, purification. 2, what will be needed for purification. 3, financial penalties. And I say that will be very fair, open and honest, especially we are dealing with a society. Nana, in some way me I see, say, there was an agenda that was started on a wrong foot. And that agenda has swinged towards one particular person, Team Legal Wives. And Sani Pana or Kasasem Wino, Ability agenda say Abusapanyimra. How are we confident, say, if Abusapanyi comes, his security and safety is on point? And even Krano, would he be given a fair hearing and a fair judgment? Nanaima, William Mibisao, Wadaroma.
Nanaima, before you come in, Alex, also make his statement be. He said it was factual. Also, once the person is not coming from Greater Accra, it can never be buried there. Also, Lumba Eya Shanti. Then I asked myself, Kwamle Dumo, Mininiso Oye Gani. He comes from the Volta region, right? But he was buried in Greater Accra in his private residence. Rahel, my main found called a pastor, we say, Reverend Anthony something. Yeah, what he has. And also Onyega, but he was buried in his private residence. And where from Nipakuni in Greater Accra. Ye ain't mean burying Ohono. What I say. May I deal back on priest and a kaya na a hamen and say, also no matter what happens, say we shall penny bow one bow, they will go ahead with the exhumation. And only idea me here. They've taken sides already.
Okay, Roland, met me to answer your question real quick.
We find some time. Can you give just look at this?
Wow. No nonsense. I you are calling a jailer. I'm calling so we move. Asa. Yeah. We move. I'm calling.
So when you look at maybe I hope you saw the video.
I know. If I go ahead and na obi ka senko or answer.
Go ahead.
Okay. Inti se osha precedence of asama Bralex kahena. Then it looks obvious said there is a manipulation somewhere, and I said there is an agenda somewhere. And until that I insist to say quickly now who say obi pushing the agenda no. There are two sides of every story. Ono wakoka ne de wo baby. However, omokoka che no a odi age atum no. You also go and tell your story. Also also ma omote side of the story. The hierarchy system in Nungwa and I say and crime for where we have a priest and then we have the chief who play two separate roles. And in this matter, it is a fortunate thing for a case like this. It is a obia kwa the story we waha. Now you also want to be heard. You don't want to go there because you feel like the case has already been judged. Also, over call through another channel to be heard. It's just like this case we are dealing with. Obisi or team legal wife, Obisi or team Odobruni. Everybody is allowed to choose where they want to belong, according to a more understanding of the situation. The same way, also the Okokawa story. Ebaya wan say won kan wasem ni nti no obi enim wasem ni mu nti dia wate no eno na wagye atom whatever mko ka chere mrantie hene no if he is on agenda for them and I say on an assignment for them no like I say omo no makoyo omodwuma no matimi a convince no on the matter say this and this nti feel say oye enemy then obviously he is looking for you nti ohwehwe on wo so say so hwehwe baby a so do de befa na wo so yetie wo de. So that at the end of the day, no, everybody will be heard and there will be fair judgments. But what's not to say na or no to send a walk because the first video I saw, when I saw him at first, I thought it was about the stadium, Independence Square. As I almost ye and I say in crime for no happening so. They should just go and do their funeral. Na that the lumba de oye ni na idea. Ubiani any problem. They should go and do their celebration of life peacefully. And then the same person appears again in the matter of burial. As I say, and then yesterday somebody was talking about it, say he is from Abula. Sisiano Asemna Abanungwa because ono onim say that area is under Nungwa's too. Inti Asemna Abanungwa. Inti who said the pane yesano, also so best sorry, now was one my yate wasem. But what's not now can say, oh, omu try and I saw more say, and then they invite you and you don't go. And I say you don't find any means to be heard by this same group of people then you are giving them the liberty to act however they want to act. That's how I'll put it.
I'm thankful say all can't we see. The second year with the best also cry. But your doctor na okasa na na but so nim no.
Reverend Dr. Jesse Ankra.
Aha. Na abusuasem ye ni mama mere nti se be yen se amamere. Tena say opanyin na se wote won framu se abusua bi atom abusua panyin a na say ne social media asem de ntimi fanya asem and asem a edeba afi ho no has nothing to do with this, especially say to abusua panyin ewo asanteman mu no ya asantefo se bi omfa ncheye ana se ya kanfo ana say yes and them afọ ye ne betimi a kire kwan yefa so yetu ya henfo ana say ye busua panyine na say otu obi enkra se omra na wonte ne nka ye mpentem emua ten ana yimua if you say oka se matese yes ye tu no e mane ye nwanwa kakra because empanyinfo se panyine sebe mo amudue mante if you say obi ebetumi abetwa toro ebia na ope wanim animonyam binti but udue mante ma unya bre editie na okore wa asem no mu na hema mesre se we de enkranfo mpanyinfo kwan a omofa so til ansafre abusua panyine no who let any dear. But the fact who social media anko di obi ansem we can consider it say nensan kan wate mete say yeton safrem na menya ankara na we didn't know the purpose of going there. Secondly, nana nsema mihwegu ha na meka say you feel said there have been a compromise be somewhere. But no so atesem. Nti mesre say abusuapanyi mmere no adama amufa binka ho. Sebe abusuapanyi fie nya de fie. Ɛhɔ ne yasie na mu ne de. But deal ye dehye na dehye bia na abusuapanyi ni agapade en nananom agapade ka ho. Nti the responsibility of abusuapanyi no to protect people and properties of omo family no. Ti sebe se nana ye nana mramu de meka siso dia. De so ye bibia wo mramu ne aban mu ne de wa ye bibia. Mesan so aka siso dia se ye hokura ne yensie nipa kwa. Yeso ye waman ye ne nsaguo ne nyoma ye. Nti e bi mpo a how would they know say bia na sabio. Enkra no ma hemfu yi se nya ba ko pe. Ebia they consulted a jurisdiction bia the right thing had been done culturally. But ebia or my comfort sabe and enya aware of it. And all these things could be adia sabe mpemfose ka kumyeje no kwaku anum. Nti ka wotnya daje twen abusuapanyi na say yamfa ne say yo yodum ne ekona se ekotufu no na sabe ugu nsa ya amane ma ekosi edad lumba se ne na ya to mrawo se ne ya makwa mabusuapanyi na asefo so amfo mu nkyire mu ama. Nti na ma yenya wo haidie mesre se binu se mpemfo de ne o ma na te ha o ma na etuyefo na mo na motretene ye o ma ye break akra na dad lumba ye nyina dad lumba we Ghana dad lumba na ye hunu se fa ebe fa so ibetimi ayama no ayefe nti nana no munya abotrema omma nya abotrema busa
Yes, mini na abusheni the nini na ye matter of dialogue. And I insist a matter of dialogue. I say mbie ni hwa nipa ntiminka. Nti nini na ayekasa endra meka bibi se sebe ebusia pani ono so aye odehye. Ono so fra hemfie saa nti obia so entimi sorry keke embe jojo anase embe handle anyhow. And about emrante hene no, if you feel say there's been a compromise somewhere and I say or no kuta ne personal agenda, most so mo betimi a fight for mo agenda and I say you can even report him to whatever authority or survey under and a jurisdiction or also survey under as a mrantie and say now mobane concerning this matter. And we are seeing say we're taking one side and then that side no a leading and say or per se or they Lumba legacy and I say Lumba bushia etwase na almost so omontie mo so mo side of the story. Na say you twin anima na you twin na ya stop on the but you betimi aka ne sa once he's still going and I say he's making his point ono no mu hu no ono no mu tie no ene de ono beka no eno na ono so oyo mo ba nti omo be hu ne say he is a son of the land nti he is standing in the interest of the land. So if it may not be so, then you also and enkrahene nya baako. Enkrahene nya baako. Ahemfo bebre o a, mo so beti bi de mo asama akoto mo nim. Tisa na ye kan, tisa na make say obi a woni team a o support. And Ramika Bibi say Ebusiapeni a very outspoken person, very fearless person. Now it will surprise you say Ebusiapeni beba impedinfo anim ama he will come and win the heart of the people that they are even thinking should go against him. Until you are heard, it's just like Lumba issue. Lumba wankasa. Lumba didn't speak. There are so many things happening now. Senko ban out no be kasaya and they may not be happening. Wankasa. Ena odeko. Inti asema isisi wone chini na ano. Obia kane side. And I say obia kane ope. Until wobe kasa and you be heard, you know. Everybody has a right to assume, say, this is the truth. That's why I started.
It was a winning video that was some social media. So I'm going to make sure like share videos no edit amai makramo.